Okinawa was kind of interesting because sometimes Okinawa. We had been on a troop ship, and originally they had 26 plans, I think, to go into Okinawa. And we were not scheduled to even be into Okinawa, but Okinawa was one hell of a fight. And so we decided to land. And we landed, and I could see Tinian on one side, and we were on a troop ship, and I could see a battleship. And the battleship would fire, and they have these big 18-inch or 16-inch guns, and they would fire towards Tinian and rock that way, or rock back, and then when they rocked back, they would fire at Okinawa. And the thing about it is that when we landed, we finally got to shore at night, and we landed on the beach, and we were behind the Marines, and they hadn't been able to get in very far. So we dug in the sand on the edge of a beach. And I don't know if you've ever tried to dig a foxhole in the sand, but it's impossible because it all falls back in again. And one of the reasons that we won in the Pacific was that you had flares all night long. Their flares were overhead, popping and popping and popping. And if the Japanese were able to get in defilade, the Navy could go around behind them, and they could fire and get the people that were in defilade. So that didn't work as well as it might have at other times. But that first night was kind of tough. And then we got into real combat. The combat that we'd been in on Macon was not much at all in comparison to what we were in on Okinawa and Saipan too. And the day the war ended, I was on Okinawa, and the plane that flew up and bombed Hiroshima flew off the island. Tinian was flatter than Okinawa, so they built the airfields on Tinian, and they flew the B-29s from Tinian all the way up to do the bombing. And they would fly over Okinawa to land on Tinian, so we frequently saw the planes going and coming. And I'm quite confident in my own mind, although there would be no way of proving it, that I saw the plane that actually dropped the bomb on Hiroshima come back. Or maybe it was the one on Nagasaki, because I saw in the movies that the one on Nagasaki almost ran out of gas. And when they ran out of gas and came back, or when they had received enough damage that maybe one or on a B-29, I think they can fly on 2 motors even, they would come in hot with flares going and everybody else stopping everything they're doing, and the planes coming in. And I think the one on Nagasaki is the one I saw, and it came in that way. And my understanding is that when they landed, theoretically their fuel gauges set empty. And during the battle for Okinawa itself, it was the largest naval battle except for D-Day anywhere, certainly in the Pacific. And at one time, I could look out over the bay and see probably 100 ships out there. And the Japanese came in, as you well know. They hit carriers and they hit all kinds of things. I saw a Japanese pilot trying to get a ship, and it flew over us at about 100 feet. The Japanese pilot had on a helmet that was the old-fashioned one you used to see, just made out of leather. He turned and looked down at us. Obviously, we were not a target. I think we were so surprised to see him and his big red zero and everything. I'm not sure that any of us even shot at him, but we might. I was a radio operator for the company commander, so all I had was a pistol and a carbine. But then he flew out over the bay. I saw every ship in the bay, maybe it wasn't that one, I saw every ship in the bay try to knock down a Japanese plane once, and it went through every one of them and continued flying on out again. And I did see him actually hit ships and explode on ships. It was kind of an exciting time during the war in its own way.